Macklemore has a new song, everybody! White Privilege too? Yeah, I heard it! Bump it, everybody. It's woke. The song is so good and I'm just so proud of him. Everyone should listen to it. When I first heard Macklemore's song about white privilege, I was excited, I was happy, and then I started to realize, why am I so excited about this? Nobody's ever congratulated me for knowing where I stand in society. But to be honest, it always does make me feel really happy when I hear a white person talk about social injustices, because the sad reality is that so many white people are so blind. People often make examples that, oh, my father worked so hard to get where he was, he didn't have no sort of privilege, and they just don't get it. As the title implies, this is actually his second song about white privilege, and I went to check out his first song, and I found this comment. So a homeless white man is more privileged than the President of the United States of America? Who knew? 84 thumbs up. White privilege doesn't mean you're better than someone. Now, I can't give you an exact definition of white privilege. I'm not the most social activist, but I'm a little woke. And to me, white privilege means that you might get treated a little better than a minority. So for example, this YouTube commenter wants to compare a homeless person and the president. That's not how it works. How about you compare a homeless white person with a homeless black person? And maybe just observe how 10 white homeless people are treated versus 10 homeless black people. Or President Obama. Why were people so concerned about where he was born? Back to the song, it's 9 minutes, and I don't know if he would shorten it for radio play, but it could definitely make a really good music video. The song starts out with Macklemore describing the scene of him at a protest and feeling a little bit out of place because he's probably one of the few white people there. He's not sure if he should be screaming Black Lives Matter, he's not sure what he can do, but he's observing and he's learning. Then the song gets interesting, and that's where all the media coverage is because he's calling out Iggy Azalea and Miley Cyrus. And I think he's calling himself out too. You've exploited and stolen the music, the moment, the magic, the passion, the fashion. You toy with the culture, was never yours to make better. You're Miley, you're Elvis, you're Iggy Azalea, fake and so plastic, you've heisted the magic. I like this Macklemore. Now he's being risky because he's calling out other white artists that obviously heavily borrow from black artists. But he's also calling himself out. He says, you've heisted the magic. And I mean, he himself borrows from black music. Then he raps about how people go on Twitter and hashtag and seem like they're upset about it and say rest in peace Mike Brown, which it almost seems like he's not just questioning other artists, but almost questioning himself as well. And I think that's such a good point. You should always question everybody. Question everybody's intentions. I think this whole rap is very smart. Are you doing it to appeal to an audience, to seem likable, or do you genuinely care for a movement? The song then goes into a new phase. Macklemore describes him being approached by a mother who wants to take a picture because her whole family likes him. She says Macklemore is the only hip-hop she lets her kids listen to. His hip-hop isn't negative. There's no bitches and hoes and guns and drugs in his raps. If a cop pulls you over, it's your fault if you run. And then he's like, huh? Then we hear a bunch of very popular opinions from white people that you might agree with. Hey, if you don't really understand white privilege, you probably agree with at least one of these clips that are played.
So they feel that the police are discriminating against the black people?
I have an advantage. Why? Because I'm white? What? No.
It's like more people like nowadays are just pussies. Like this is the generation to be offended by everything.
Black Lives Matter thing is a reason to take arms up over perceived slights.
In this last verse, he has that conflict of, I could book a whole tour, sell out every single show, no problem, and then just stay silent when I see all these protests and everything else. But what am I doing? Why would I do that? Why wouldn't I lend a voice to the culture that gave me my voice? He says, America feels safe with my music in their systems, and let's face it, it's kind of true. A lot of people think Macklemore is so much more listenable than, say, Kendrick Lamar, but Kendrick Lamar is a rap genius. And the last part is so beautiful to me. He says, we want to dress like, walk like, talk like, dance like, yet we just stand by. We take all we want from black culture, but will we show up for black lives? Macklemore is not a messiah, he's not a savior, he never said he was. This song is not for me, this song is not for black people, this song is for white people. This song is meant to strike up a conversation as I am now. I tweeted about it, but I feel like people didn't really interact, and I'm really hoping that this video reaches people and really speaks, because these social injustices are real. And some people just want to look away, and that's just so gross. And I know plenty of black people have been saying what Macklemore is saying for many years, but have white people? Not enough. Most of my white friends don't care about these issues, and it's so sad because when I try to bring it up, they kind of like shut it out, and they would never be on camera to like talk about it. So I don't think people should turn against Macklemore. He's not doing anything wrong. There'll always be something people can nitpick. Heck, people can probably nitpick something about this video. I probably missed something. I always miss something. And then people are like, oh my gosh, Edwin, you know people really do shame women that breastfeed in public, right? And I'm like, oh my god, that's not the point of the video. Anyways, guys, please go listen to the full song if you haven't already, and then discuss it in the comments below. I'm curious to see what everybody thinks. This is my first social injustice video in a pretty long time, so I'm a little nervous / excited about it. I definitely will do more. And of course, I thank you if you click the like button, and I'll see you guys real soon, okay? Subscribe. Cheers. Oh, and follow me on Snapchat, bitch.